Hello and good night. Welcome to the University of Fantasy Basketball Podcast, Week 14. Dr. Dane Andre here with our distinguished professor, Kilonomics. What's up, brother?
Happy Easter, my brother. Feeling
Happy.
good, feeling great. We're getting ever so close to these playoffs, man, and I just can't wait for everything to unfold and you know see what's what. There's been a lot of talk, and we're about to see who the real contenders are.
Yeah, man, it's been a
Pretend,
spicy week in the association.
you guys executed well, to come away with an 8-1 victory is pretty impressive, especially down Joel Embiid. And I know Brogdon sat out some games, so I mean your team is doing the damn thing, man.
Yeah, man, I'm happy with the way they performed. I'm happy with how my man Nikhil Alexander Walker came in and stepped up for us when we needed him. Um, Malik Beasley still looks like he's not quite back yet, and yeah, I'm a little concerned with Malcolm Brogdon and not only his current injury, but just the way he's been performing over the past couple of weeks, even a month so far. I'm gonna need a little bit more out of him. So I'm just gonna monitor that situation. But I'm happy, like you said, Joel Embiid is back. He'll be my lineup next week. Hopefully, we can get like a good 3 solid games out of him going forward. But yeah, I'm happy with our performance. It's been a good one. Actually, in this matchup, man, I'm what I'm really hoping for is that Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. Give a combined like 3 turnovers, because then I got a nice little 9-0 win, and that would be great.
Mm, let me- 3 turnovers?
Three,
Oh, come on, you Michael Porter? Man,
yeah, 3 turnovers.
man, he'll be happy to deliver that. That's what that guy does. He is a walking turnover.
Yeah,
That's
so if that happens, that'll be a nice win for me. Give me a nice little game cushion. Put me back in the #1 spot too. So
Well, slight update. You're 2 turnovers away right now. It's 53 to 51. So, and
mm,
the Denver's game's got at least another 30 minutes left. So you're good, man. You're looking pretty good, man.
um, all right. Well, let's move on to our next matchup, which was the Beantown Bombers and the Syracuse Sparrows, which we both picked the Bombers to deliver a win. But Syracuse, man, they stepped up and we counted them out. But it looks like they were able to deliver. But a few things went wrong for Beantown. Anything you want to touch on there?
Yeah, man. To continue the point, yeah. I mean, name of the game is games played, and unfortunately, Beantown is just struggling to get some consistency with his guys in uniforms and playing games. Kyle Lowry, unfortunately, suffered an injury, so only played about a half or 3/4 of a game for the whole week. We've also got Zach Levine, which was in and out of the lineup. Woods, same thing. Um, and I just realized DiVincenzo was played. So, I mean, it looks like the injuries are catching up to the Beantown Bombers, and um, they're going in the wrong direction, man. I don't know if it's like a brothers vibe going on right now, but these injuries are mounting. I'm looking at the bench, and he's got KD injured, Carmelo Anthony injured, Isaac,
Oh, that's
injured.
Cole. That's Cole Anthony. He's got Cole Anthony.
Oh, my bad. Oh my goodness. RJ Barrett. I mean, he doesn't have the injury symbol, but he's basically injured. Like you're not putting my man RJ Barrett, given his performance, the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Hopefully he'll get it
yeah,
back on.
I'm a little surprised that RJ didn't get the nod this week, but I know he can be inconsistent sometimes, so maybe that was part of it. And um, unfortunately, just having Zach Levine, he played well today, but he's not been great over this past
Hmm.
couple of weeks, maybe even the last uh, let's say 10 games. He's just been pretty subpar. A big part of his value and reason why I think he was a all-star this year is because he was shooting so efficiently, and he just hasn't been doing that lately. So if this is going to be a trend with him, with Zach Levine, hopefully he's getting back on the right track. But the free throws and in a lot of cases the field goal percentage has just not been there for him. So um,
And this is kind of the trend with a couple of these all stars, man. These guys are just putting up some pathetic lines, ever since the All Star break, and I wonder what's going on, man. There's another guy which we're gonna bring up, when we get to my matchup.
Mhm.
One guy which I thought was gonna start trending down and slowing down was Mr. Julius LeGreat Randle, but he just continues to excel, man. I'm watching him knock down 3-pointers, and I'm just in disbelief with just how well and how efficient he's playing.
Yeah, man. He's been he's had a couple of games where he's taken a step back, but for the most part he's been solid, man. 5 threes last night against Detroit. So um, you know, what can I say? He's all star.
Well said.
Let's move on to the Bimtown Celtics and Solid State. That's another one where um, we didn't quite go with the right team there. And Solid State had a few injuries. What'd you think of this matchup?
Yep, it's the same thing throughout, right? There's some unforeseen injuries that they come up, and big enough in magnitude that turns the matchup, to the other opponent. Losing Harden, right? I mean, is a recipe for destruction. And also Collins, right? No Collins this week. Sabonis suffered some injuries. Um, Nance as well. I mean, basically half his lineup, unfortunately, got injured. This is Solid State.
Yep.
Bimtown suffered some injuries as well with Zion. I don't know if he's hurt or he's resting or what the situation is there. But I mean, South State to come away with only losing 4-5 is, I think, pretty respectable. And I
Yep.
wonder if that talks more to some of the weaknesses of Bimtown. But we're gearing up to the playoffs, right? And 5-4 is all that matters. So if Bimtown can reliably get five categories, that's all that matters.
Let's move on to your matchup. Rucker Park and Phoenix.
Yeah,
Yeah. Tell me what you saw in this matchup, man. Tell me the story of this matchup.
this was a complete shit show, man. I'll start. I'll mainly focus on the Brooklyn Phoenix, or my team's effort. It was just bloody awful. Two guys that have really been upset with their effort. One is now I'm going to call Kardashian Simmons. You know how we've been talking about these players that have, having these dips since the All Star break. Ben Simmons has been one of those guys. Over the last week, this guy's ranked 191. Then let me give you some assist numbers for his last couple of games. 4 assists, 6 assists, 5 assists, 3 assists. Block numbers, 1 in all those 4 games. I don't know what Ben Simmons is doing out there, man. I do not know what this guy is doing. And he's shooting 40% from the field. He's not shooting threes.
Not gonna get it done.
So you know, and Embiid, you know, it's not there for a lot of these games. So, you know, whatever's going on there, man, is hurting my team, and he needs to figure it out because he's in there for assist and field goal percentage. I mean, he's not providing that. Then, you know, I've got to rethink, you know, what we're gonna do, because I was surprised to be down and be struggling, you know, with the assist category. And then Paul George, he's also been awful, man. Paul George is playing like playoff P or bubble P, you know, whatever, you know, the cool kids are calling him, and he's just struggling right now. He surprised me with missing 2 games. You know, I was disappointed in that. I'm, you know, happy he eventually got on the court, but, you know, that kind of sucked, you know, being blindsided by that. And then Karl-Anthony Towns, he's been amazing, you know, so, you know, it's not all negative. Devontae Graham has been playing like Ben Simmons, but hitting threes. Like he's been great. And I made the wrong play, you know. I know it's Easter Sunday, you know, and I was probably getting, you know, really excited about playing my man Moses Brown, and I think it was a little bit too early. I think he needs to spend some more time on the bench, be a third center, and you know, Porter should have had that starting place, right? I played Porter this week. You know, I think I arguably have a better chance, although that might not be true, because I was originally thinking I was going to lose this matchup like 3-6, 2-7 with the steals and blocks, and I know Porter was having a big game in those categories, but you know, we were able to win the defensive numbers, you know, which was great, but you know, losing the threes, even not winning the threes or assists, kind of was frustrating with my team. So we're gonna have to figure that out. And I benched my man Joe Harris, right? Benched Joe Harris, and he was back to lighting it up. So, you know, I'll keep it there. I'll stop it there. You know, and I'll let you, you know, go into some of the things that you saw.
Yeah. Well, first of all, credit to Rucker Park. You know, Drew Holiday has been, you know, incredible these past 3-4 games. And you talked about assists, but Drew Holiday, double-digit assist games his past 2 games. That's something we haven't seen from Drew really a whole lot. So it looks like Drew saved his best for you. Giannis is getting into his MVP form. So that helped a lot. Same thing with, you know, look who's Mr. Reliability all of a sudden. Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler has been really good for Rucker Park. So, and then, you know, Kawhi, he's been steady. So, you know, we talk about the you know, the star power that Rucker Park has, and it really showed this week. Only beating you 5-4, even with all the you know, the challenges that you highlighted with Ben Simmons not really playing at an all-star level, which, you know, we talked about this during All-Star Week. I didn't think he should have been All-Star, but I you know, this is the guy I've been seeing. And but I'm no hater, man. I'm no hater. I just, you know. And then, yeah, like you said, Jakob Poeltl, man. Jakob Poeltl has been real good. And I know you talked about Moses parting the Red Seas last night, but I guess it swallowed him up this time, because
Moses not ready, man.
He's not quite ready yet. We got a little excited about Moses Brown coming through, but maybe he's not quite at that level yet. But I still see some potential. So,
oh, for sure.
the potential is definitely there, and he definitely does some good things on the floor. So not all doom and gloom. TJ McConnell still holding you down. Um,
That's my guy.
uh, yeah, I mean it's been a very interesting matchup. This one was probably like I called it our matchup of the week last week, but um, you know you came back and made it respectable because you came into tonight down I think 6-2 and it was looking
Mhm.
ugly for a second. It was looking ugly. So you know, shout out to Rucker Park and shout out to you for making it respectable. Let us move on to Dame Stop and Y Clinique. What do you think about these guys? We picked
Man, we picked GameStop. Thought it was gonna be, closer, but GameStop, is putting the foot on the gas pedal and trying to make that last push. Um, Overall, Dame is, leading the bunch. He's been playing really good, and look at my man Capella. He's shooting at 60% from the field, 80% from the free throw line. Man,
he's had
it's
some
just
monster games lately. He's been having some
so
monster games.
60 boards and 14 blocks, man. Wrap it up, man. That's a tough line, for anybody to beat. And Harrison Barnes, I know he put together, a clean game, and former Brooklyn Phoenix player Plumlee has been really good too. Gordon Hayward, you know was was doing good until unfortunate injury, and he's going to be missing some time, unfortunately. Uh, but I think NYK, man, he's got some players which are not looking like they once were. Fred VanVleet, I don't know if he's just tired of this shit, because Toronto's not playing for anything, but he's been bloody awful. John Morant is overrated as a fantasy player. Um, I've been very disappointed with his output, but one can argue, he probably never really recovered over the ankle injury. But that's two guards, that real struggle, But I got to big up the man Russell Westbrook, right? Because he's been he's been out of this world, man. 54 rebounds, 52 assists in a week. Russ. Oh, I thought that was Russ's 3-point percentage. He said 52%. I was just about to say Russ is shooting 52% from the free
Well,
throw.
he did have a game where he shot like 53%. That one game where he put up like when he had the triple double with 21 assists. Um, I mean that was crazy. Had 4 threes that night. But yeah, he's been a triple double machine, but he's also kind of killing you in a couple of other categories, right? Like on April Fool's Day, he had a triple double, but he almost had a quadruple double with 9 turnovers. He could have used 1 turnover away from. I mean, a performance like that will certainly ensure that you lose that category. Like that's without a doubt. And then to make things worse, he shoots 16% from the free throw line on that day. So it's going to be very difficult when your best player or one of your best players is doing things like that, killing you in 2 different categories. But that's the thing that you take when you have Russell Westbrook, right? You have these great counting stats, but you have a couple of categories that for sure you're not going to win. And he's been better from three, maybe not percentage wise, but at least volume wise. He's hitting multiple threes per game, which in the beginning of the season he was just terrible in that category. Other than that, man, when it comes to NY Clinique, I mean, I see Serge Ibaka still in the lineup. Um,
Mhm.
really not able to do a whole lot with Serge Ibaka, who's not playing at all in your lineup. That's just you know just when especially when you have his backup, right? His backup is on your roster, and you're not playing. You're not even playing his backup over him. So
You got
um,
arguably both backups.
both backups, right? You got Morris on his roster too. You got Mook sitting there
Mhm.
with 4 threes tonight, 27, 22 points and 7 rebounds, sitting on the bench. So
Mhm.
you know, but yeah, I agree everything you said before. Herder had a stretch where he looked like he was, looking like a real interesting player. I didn't really believe it, but he's
Yeah,
definitely
same here.
taking a step back. So, and then again, Mello being in the lineup, he's going to be hit or miss, unfortunately for you. So, it's the reason why NY is where they are in the standings right now. So, um, we can move on to our next matchup, which is Titanes de San Juan and the Midtown Moneymen. A close matchup here, like you predicted. This one was going to be close, but the Moneymen look like they had things under wraps. Is that score still what it is?
Yeah, we're still looking at a 4-5, man. And I'll say quickly, Titanas, De San Juan is like, there's no easy money out here. You got to pay your fare, to earn your stripes and beat him. And that's commendable. Maybe some other teams should represent and be more like the Titans. Yeah, overall, just very good week, man. They've the Titans, strong with the defense, good with the rebounds, right? Always a little turnover, and they've got enough upside to possibly turn over a threes category or the free throws. Um, and
Mhm.
they just do it. It's a full team effort, right? With the Utah guys kind of leading off, right? And the big surprise here, Boucher has been uh, he's he's been all over the place. I mean, he's been all over the place. For the season, but relatively lately, he's just been bad. But I mean, at least he's giving the blocks that the Titans need. And the
Yeah,
Utah guys were solid.
yeah. Boucher, his minutes are concerning, and his inconsistency just really is really going to be a killer. I mean, for a player like him, shooting, you know, 38% from 39% for the week is just unacceptable. Like, um, same thing with like PJ Washington, shooting 32% from the field. It's there's no place for that. I think, with the exception of, I mean, when you look at it, if you're talking about Buddy Hield, who's shooting 40%, I get that he's a volume shooter. He's not gonna necessarily shoot efficiently every night, but it just hurts, especially when on the other side you got guys like CJ shooting 50% from the free throw from the field.
Mm,
And same thing with like DeRozan shooting 51%. I mean, Conley 52%. It's very difficult to beat a team. Um, when their guards and some of their best players are shooting that efficiently. Um, yeah, nothing really surprising about this matchup. The def. Wait a minute. Titanes de San Juan has taken the lead.
yeah, actually, yeah, the Joker's off to missing free throws. Um,
Yeah, that
yeah,
free throw percentage swinging. And I was just about to say, Titanes, winning the defensive battle here is as we expect that they should. It's been a big thing, but Yeah, Midtown Money Man, they're in trouble. If because as I look at a guy like CJ, who shot 62% this week from the free throw line, that's unlike him. On
Mm,
this side, though, you know, you got guys, some of those same guys we mentioned, even like a Rubio who shot 100% from the field this week. Don Mitchell, 91%. Buddy Hield didn't miss from the line this week either. And then Gallo just kind of came out of nowhere and now is a contributing member of this team. But yeah, this we could have an upset there.
mm,
So things have shifted. We'll see how things shape up for the rest of the night. But Jokic, it's in Jokic's hands. Can he swing this matchup? I don't know. It's right now we're talking about 83% to 82%. Does
that's
he
a
get
lot of
free
quantity.
throws? Yeah, does he get enough free throws to really? Does he get and make enough free throws for it to swing? I don't know.
Yeah, give me. I'd bet on San Juan at this point.
Yeah, wow, that's a very interesting turn of events.
Yeah.
Um, Back to our matchups where Cranston, man, they got ran out of town. Um, this is a team we talked about extensively last week. Um, you picked them right, and I think we discussed even as you were giving your explanation to why you picked True Grit, and I agreed with you. There's just wasn't enough there for Cranston to really make this matchup, especially with the game's advantage that True Grit had. But what'd you think of this matchup?
I think it's even more concerning than I thought, as far as Cranston Killers, place and just outlook looking forth. But I mean, this week was just it was bad. Even for the players that did play, Trae Young wasn't that great. He was below 40%, only gave him 60 points for the week and three threes. That's not gonna get it done. Especially when you're shorthanded. On a brighter side, Tatum played really well. Siakam's been reasonable. Tice has been all over the place, and Brandon Ingram, has been out of the lineup now. So, right, so another injured player that they're having to shuffle with. Um, the effort is just not there. And I was thinking maybe 6-3, but for them to lose 7-2 is is ouch, ouch. And True Grit, I mean, nothing impressive there, man. They just showed up, man, and I think that's what you do. If you're trying to beat a team that's down,
Yeah, I mean,
especially when you're down.
this was really a ugly matchup. When you talk about Kobe White not really being able to produce much of anything, he was hurt, but was in the lineup. And the one game he did play, 4 points, 3 assists. So you got virtually nothing from him. Same thing with Lou Dort, nothing. He was injured. And really, your only players were you had Jalen Brown, and
Mhm.
you had Valanciunas, and looks like Fournier came in, and he's actually been a positive presence for the Celtics. He I thought this trade would affect his value a lot more, or his playing time a lot more than it looks like it has. But no, I think the role they have him in is really. I think they're going to try to use him the same way they used um, Gordon when Gordon was there, just kind of maybe like a scorer off the bench kind of role. Um, So that looks to be positive for him. And he played, had a couple of good games for the Celtics this week. So, but yeah, this is just really just disappointing when you talk about Cranston losing 7-2. And I know they had a few, Brandon Ingram missed a couple of games, and then D'Angelo Russell was still in the lineup. Jared Allen missed pretty much all week with a concussion. But I don't know.
Man, you got to give a big up, man, on the True Grit side to the best player of the week, Bogdanovich. That guy, had a really good week. At over 50%, 80 from the line. I mean, that's like, top 20 value. The numbers he put up for the week. Especially given defensive numbers like 8 steals and 3 blocks to go with, some of those other numbers.
Agreed. I'm mad that I actually had Bogdanovich in a couple of other leagues and had to drop him, and I wanted to re-add, but one league we were severely limited in ads for the week, and then other league I just forgot. But yeah, man, Bogdanovich has been great. He's really stepped it up since he's been back from his injury. But yeah, other than that, man, nothing really exciting to see in this matchup. It's just kind of a real disappointing matchup, actually. Cranston with
and then you lose turnovers too.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes it even worse.
Yeah, I mean, how you have that many injuries and you still lose turnovers. I mean, somebody's got to lose, I guess, in turnovers, but that's crazy. And you look at the culprit. It's your guy, Trae Young. 17 turnovers this week. That's disgusting.
17.
Multiple games. Yeah, and it's not like he played all his games this week. Like, I don't know. I'm just disgusted by that. Really offended by that, actually. Let's move on to our last matchup. Frankfurt 17 took on the Kings, and it looked close for a minute. It looked like it was heading to a Sunday matchup, and it did. Frankfurt just kind of like took over on Sunday, and it brought their lead to 6-3. Anything you thought that was notable in this matchup?
Yeah, you highlighted the most important thing, which was them being Frankfurt, moving to a 6-3, late into the night, and that's because Lonzo Ball is back on the floor, and he had a game, 8 3-pointers, 27 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals. If there was any doubt, about, Lonzo's ability, people are being able, the naysayers are being shut out.
Yeah,
he's been phenomenal, and I'm happy to see him back on the floor. The other player was Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards had a great week. Shot it, the most efficient I've ever seen him shoot it, this season. Close to 50% from the field and 83% from the free throw line, and all the other numbers are numbers that we've seen him do, since the All-Star break. So very promising for him and the T-Wolves.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, Lonzo Ball, man, only game of the week, but came back at the right time, and really, when you talk about 3-point output, I mean, really did all his work in one night. So that was really, really good to see for him. Injuries on both sides of the table, but I gotta say, Bradley Beal missing his last couple of games really hurt Kings Landing, and had he been there, actually he missed his last 4 games. had Bradley Beal been there, been present, I mean, you're talking about probably a 5-4 win for Kings Landing, which is you know, pretty incredible, actually, for this team. So that I think that's really an unfortunate part, because a guy who I've been advocating to get out the lineup, Justin Jackson, actually was a positive contributor for Kings Landing this week. And Aaron Gordon still has time. Maybe he hits a couple of threes. Maybe maybe he
The 30 piece.
he's playing Orlando. He's playing Orlando, so he might wanna they might want to feed him. He's having a good half so far if he actually hits his free throws, and gets, let's say he had a 14-point half, so maybe we see him do another 14-point effort and push Kings Landing over the top. But for now, looks like Frankfurt is gonna walk away with this win. At least get a 5-4. But we'll see. We'll see in the morning.
Indeed, we will.
All right. Well, that was our week 14 recap. We'll see you in our next segment where we give you our preview for week 15, the last week of the regular season. See you then.